All right, let's dive in. Today, we're taking a look at AI, specifically this research paper on something called Claude 3.5 computer use.
Interesting.
Now, I know that might sound a bit jargony, but stick with me here
Yeah.
because we're talking about an AI that can use a computer,
Oh, wow.
like actually using it, like you and me,
Uh-huh.
like a mouse, clicking icons, typing, all that.
So it's not just like lines of code or something. It's actually like,
It's using
oh, that's pretty wild.
it's using what it sees on the screen
Yeah.
to understand and interact with the computer.
Ugh.
It's really fascinating. They call it a vision-only approach,
Right.
and they actually tested it out, doing real-world stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like shopping on Amazon, messing around on Apple's website,
Really?
even some office software stuff like Excel and PowerPoint.
They even had it playing video games.
Wait a minute, video games.
Yeah,
Okay, we gotta circle back to that. That's fascinating.
for sure.
But first, I gotta know, like, how does this thing even work? How is it approaching these tasks?
Well, the researchers, they call it a reasoning acting paradigm. So basically what Claude does is it takes a screenshot,
Okay.
like a mental snapshot of what's on the screen, and it uses that to kind of figure out what it needs to do to get to a certain goal.
So it's not just blindly following like pre-programmed instructions.
No, not at all.
It's actually thinking about it, looking at what's in front of it, and coming up with a plan.
Yeah, exactly. It's using visual reasoning
Wow.
to plan out the task and then to actually do it.
Okay, so we've got this AI that can see, it can reason, it can plan.
Right.
But how's it actually doing this stuff? Like, what tools does it have?
Well, it has three main tools. So first off, it can use the mouse and keyboard, just like we would.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then it can also use a text editor for more like text-heavy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And get this, it can even use a bash shell.
A bash shell. Now we're getting
Yeah.
technical.
Mhm.
All right, so this thing is packing some serious tools.
Definitely.
What were some of the things they had it do? What were the highlights?
Well, they started off with something pretty familiar, I'd say, online shopping.
Okay.
They had it look for noise-canceling headphones on Amazon
All right.
with a budget of like $100 or less.
All right, so the classic online shopping mission.
Yeah,
Did it, how did it handle the pressure?
like a champ. It found headphones that were noise-canceling.
Hmm.
They had good reviews, and they were under budget.
Wow.
So it used the filters, it compared the different products, it
Wow.
really did the whole thing,
So it's like having a personal AI shopping assistant.
basically.
Okay, what else? What other shopping sprees did they send it on?
Well, they really wanted to push it, so they had it customize a Pro Display XDR on Apple's website.
Oh, wow, going high end.
Yeah, and the instructions were to add all available accessories.
Okay, all of them. So
Yeah.
all the dongles, all the stands, everything.
Everything, yep.
All right, so what happened?
So it added all the physical stuff, like the stand, the cables,
Yeah.
But, and here's the really cool part, it also added Apple Care Plus.
Wait a minute. The warranty.
Yeah.
It added the warranty. But they didn't tell it to do that.
No, because it reasoned that since they wanted all accessories, well, Apple Care Plus is technically an accessory.
So it actually understood
Yeah.
the intent of the user,
That's right.
like the bigger picture.
It went beyond just the literal instructions.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty amazing
Yeah.
that it can kind of like deduce that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it aced the online shopping.
It did.
Do they have it try any other web stuff?
They did. And this is where we start to see, some limitations.
Okay.
So they tried to have it add Formula One to a user's followed sports on Fox Sports.
Seems simple enough.
Right.
What happened?
Well, it got stuck on the
Okay.
navigation.
What do you mean?
So the Formula One option, it was further down the list,
Right.
and Claude couldn't figure out how to scroll down.
So even with all this fancy stuff, it couldn't scroll.
It highlights how tricky these web interfaces can be, even for a powerful AI.
Yeah.
The researchers, they actually call this a planning error.
Yeah.
When the AI doesn't get the current state of the computer
Interesting.
or the layout or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So even with all the advancements, there's still room to grow.
definitely.
All right, well, let's move on to something a little more fun.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this music and spreadsheet stuff.
All right.
How to do with Apple Music and Excel.
Well, they had it find trending music on Apple Music
Okay,
and add songs to a playlist.
so AI DJ, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did it come up with anything good?
Yeah, actually it did.
Oh, nice.
And here's the cool part. It used screenshots.
Oh, right, those mental snapshots.
Yeah, to remember where it was
Yeah.
while it was scrolling through songs.
Oh, so it's basically double checking.
Yeah, kind of like we would.
Huh. That's pretty human.
It is.
All right, so on to spreadsheets.
Okay, so this is where it gets really practical.
Lay it on me.
Claude was able to take data from Amazon, like the names and prices of gaming monitors,
Okay.
and put that straight into Excel
Wow.
seamlessly.
So basically do research for you.
Exactly.
Okay, pretty cool. What about other Office software tasks?
So they also had it download a Google Sheet
Okay.
and open it in Excel. Right.
Right.
But here's the thing. It knew to click Enable Editing.
Oh, because of the protected view thing.
Exactly. It understood that like a real person would.
Yeah.
Which is pretty neat.
Yeah, so it's learning the quirks of our software.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we've got web browsing, music, spreadsheets.
Right.
What else?
They also had to check out the App Store.
Okay.
So it had to find a specific app called GoodNotes,
Hmm.
see how much space it needed,
Uh-huh.
and even start installing it.
Whoa, wait, it actually installed an app.
It did. And it even knew to pause for user authentication.
Oh.
Like if a password was needed or something.
Wow, so it understands the security steps too.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like this Claude is a real multitasker.
Yeah.
Web, music, apps, spreadsheets.
We're just getting started.
All right, well, hit me with it. What else did they have it do?
All right, next up. Email and documents. You know the real Office stuff?
The nitty-gritty?
Yeah. So first, they had Claude forward an email in Outlook, adding a recipient and a CC.
So basic email stuff.
Yeah.
How to do.
Flawless, no problems at all.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So then they moved on to Word, where they had it do some layout and formatting stuff.
Ooh, getting fancy.
Yeah, so first they had it change a document to A3 size
Okay.
in landscape orientation,
Pretty specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, did it pull it off?
like a pro. It found the settings, it changed it up, no problem. It even formatted the document into 2 colors, no problem.
All right, so it's got some design skills too, huh?
Definitely.
But I'm guessing it wasn't all sunshine and roses.
You got it.
What were some of the challenges?
So one task was updating a name and phone number on a resume template. And, well, it made some of the edits, but it didn't get them all.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, and then it said it was done, even though it wasn't.
A little overconfident.
Yeah, exactly. The researchers call this one a critic error, where it misjudges if it actually finished the task.
Yeah, I guess knowing when you're done is just as important for AI as it is for us.
Absolutely.
Any other Office hiccups?
Yeah, PowerPoint was a bit tricky. It got stuck trying to add a gradient background. But then it actually figured out how to do it through the Design tab.
Oh, so it found a workaround.
Yeah, it adapted.
Clever girl or clever AI, I guess?
Yeah.
Did it do anything else in PowerPoint?
It added a title in a triangle shape to a slide.
So beyond just text and layout?
Exactly.
Impressive.
But then it struggled trying to add numbering symbols to a slide.
Oh, how so?
It accidentally added bullet points first.
Oh, no.
And then it couldn't select all the text to fix it.
So precision is still an issue,
It seems so, yeah.
especially with those tiny little buttons and things.
Yeah.
Okay, what about spreadsheets? Did it do any number crunching?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was able to do a find and replace in Excel perfectly. Like swapping dollar signs for SGD.
Across a whole sheet.
The whole thing.
Wow, talk about efficiency.
Right. But then when they had it insert a SUM formula, it messed up.
Really? How?
It picked the wrong column and missed a row.
So the calculation was all messed up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Shows that accuracy is still a challenge.
Okay, so there's definitely room for improvement there.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, though, you mentioned video games earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm dying to hear about this.
All right, buckle up.
Okay.
So they had Claude play Hearthstone.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and it created a mage deck, named it, and even used the mage's hero power.
Hold on. It was actually playing the game,
Oh, yeah.
like making decisions.
And not just randomly. It chose the best target based on what was happening in the game.
So it understood the strategy.
That's right.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm guessing they stuck with turn-based games for this, though, right?
Yeah, definitely. Real-time action games, that'd be a whole other bowl game.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask.
Yeah,
But still, that's incredible.
definitely shows the potential.
All right, so we've seen Claude succeed. We've seen it stumble.
Right.
You talked about planning errors, critic errors. and something called action errors.
Yeah.
Can you just give a quick recap of what those are?
Of course. So planning errors are when Claude, misunderstands the task or the computer.
Like the scrolling thing on Fox Sports.
Exactly. Then there's action errors, which are when it makes the wrong move, even if it has the right plan.
So like the Excel formula thing.
Right. Picked the wrong cells.
Gotcha.
And then critic errors, those are all about self-assessment.
Like when it thought it was done with a resume but wasn't?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so these errors, they're not just about where it went wrong, but they're also kind of like,
Learning opportunities?
yeah, learning opportunities.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
I have.
from successes to those little hiccups along the way.
Yeah.
What surprised you the most about all this? Any moments that really stood out?
Honestly, I was just blown away by how many different things it could handle.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile.
Yeah, from shopping to video games. It's wild.
I'm with you there, but was there a particular success or failure that really stuck with you?
I think for me, it was that Apple Care Plus thing.
Yeah, on Apple's website,
Yeah, like the fact that it was able to figure out that that should be included.
even though they didn't tell it to.
Yeah, it shows a real, deeper understanding.
It was more than just following instructions, right?
Exactly, it actually got what the user wanted.
It was thinking ahead.
Yeah.
That one definitely got me too.
Yeah,
It's like a glimpse into the future of
definitely.
AI that can not just do what we tell it to, but actually understand
Yeah.
what we really mean.
It's pretty wild to think about.
All right. Well, we've covered a lot in this first part,
Yeah, we have.
from Claude's triumphs to its stumbles.
Right.
But the big question is, what does this all mean? Where does this technology fit into our lives?
That's the real question, isn't it?
We'll tackle that and a whole lot more in part 2 of this deep dive, so stay tuned.
Looking forward to it. Welcome back.
All right, so we left off talking about what Claude can do.
Right.
But the big question is,
Yeah.
what does it all mean?
Right, how does this fit into our lives?
Exactly. Where does this technology go from here?
Well, I think if we zoom out a bit, it gives us a pretty interesting look at the future of work.
Okay, how so?
Imagine a world where AI, like Claude, could handle all those tedious tasks.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Right, all those things that bog us down, like data entry or scheduling.
Yeah, just free up our time for the more creative stuff.
Exactly. Humans could focus on critical thinking, problem solving.
All the stuff AI can't do.
Right. But on the flip side,
Yeah.
there's that big question of job displacement.
Right. What happens to all the people doing those jobs now?
It's a valid concern and one we need to address head on.
So how do we do that?
Well, we need to think about retraining, upskilling.
So people can adapt to this new world.
Exactly. It's about evolving alongside the tech.
Right. Not trying to fight it.
And it goes beyond just jobs, too.
Oh, like what?
Think about accessibility.
Oh, yeah.
For people with disabilities, this could be huge.
Right. Because using a computer can be really tough for some people.
Exactly. So AI like Claude could make it much more intuitive.
Level the playing field.
Exactly.
That's a great point.
It's really exciting to think about.
It is. But this also brings up some bigger questions, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, what does this mean for human intelligence?
Right, because for so long, we've thought of our ability to use tools,
Yeah.
interact with the world as
Yeah.
what makes us smart.
And now we have an AI doing the same thing.
Yeah, just using visual input.
Makes you wonder what intelligence really is.
It really does. How do we define it now?
So, if an AI can do what we thought was uniquely human,
Yeah.
what does that mean for US?
It's a pretty mind-blowing question.
It is, but it also feels like we're just scratching the surface.
Oh, totally.
What else do you think is coming down the line?
Well, imagine AI that can not only understand computers, but can learn even faster than us.
Whoa, AI that's constantly getting smarter.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool, but we got to be careful with it.
Right, use it for good, not for...
For evil.
But it has the potential to solve some serious problems.
I'm with you there, but let's bring it back to Claude for a sec.
Okay.
We talked about how it's not perfect, it makes mistakes.
Right, but those mistakes...
They're also valuable,
Oh, how so?
They help us see what's hard for AI,
Right.
and that helps us improve it.
So those errors, planning, action, critic,
Yeah.
they're not just about what went wrong, but also...
Also how to make it better.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But beyond just fixing the errors, what else could be improved? What would you want to see in future versions?
One thing that comes to mind is better natural language understanding.
Okay.
Right now, Claude needs those really specific instructions.
Right, like step by step.
Exactly. But imagine if you could just say, book me a flight,
Oh, wow.
or make a presentation about this.
And it just did it.
Yeah, no more complicated coding type stuff.
So more like a conversation.
That's right.
I like it.
It would be a game changer.
Okay, but before we go too far into the future,
Yeah,
we got to talk about the potential downsides.
right. The risks.
What are some things we should be thinking about?
Well, like we mentioned earlier, the impact on jobs is a big one.
Yeah, AI taking over jobs.
We need to make sure people can adapt.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Bias is another big concern.
Oh, right, because AI is trained on data.
And if that data is biased,
The AI becomes biased too.
exactly, it could make things even worse.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
It is. So we need to be really careful about the data we use.
And who's creating the AI?
Yeah, it's a big responsibility.
Okay, so lots to think about.
Yeah,
We've talked about Claude, the good, the bad, the potential, the risks.
right.
But now I want to hear from our listeners.
Oh, good idea.
If you could give Claude a task, what would it be?
Yeah, what problem would you want it to solve?
And what are your hopes and fears about this kind of technology?
We'll be right back to wrap things up and explore those questions further.
Welcome back to our deep dive on Claude and all this AI computer stuff. We've seen what it can do, the good, the bad, but now I want to turn it over to you, the listener.
Oh, yeah, it's time to hear what everyone else thinks.
Exactly. So, if you could give Claude a task, what would it be?
That's a good one. What problem would you want it to solve?
Yeah, would you want it to, like, organize your inbox or plan your dream vacation?
Or maybe even write a song with you, who knows?
The possibilities are endless. But also think about the flip side,
Right. What are your worries about this kind of AI?
because it's powerful stuff and we need to be thoughtful about how it's used.
Definitely. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of this technology.
So let's keep exploring, keep asking questions.
And keep diving deep.
That's it for our deep dive into Claude and AI computer use. Thanks for joining us.